Sup my dude, hope you're good and welcome back to my channel where I draw weeb shit and talk shit. So today we are actually redrawing one of my old acrylic paintings I did back in my college days. The original painting was lost and this picture was all that's left of it, so RIP for that. Fun fact, I was actually supposed to submit this piece in this competition for a tablet, but it wasn't as good as I hoped it would. So I ended up submitting something else instead. Spoilers, I didn't win. But hey, I've been taking the L for so long, I'm practically a pro. So that's cool, I guess. But I looked at this piece way too much to the point that it looked so distorted. I overthinked every small detail, like does the eyes look weird? Does it look too wonky? And all that, to the point I completely detached the thought of submitting this piece to the competition and submitted something completely new. Overthinking, am I right? Anyways, enough beating around the bush. If you're here, you must be overthinking. Why are you overthinking? Stop overthinking. Just stop thinking.
Stop it. Get some help.
Oh, if only it was that easy. Can you imagine? I briefly discussed this topic of overthinking with my friend and she said, overthinking is a perfect way to get insomnia. That explains the bags under my eyes. Since our brains never stop working, it's just constantly trying to fill the silence with whatever BS it can think of. Oh, fun! You could be trying to order a fucking sandwich, rehearsing with yourself how to order, like some sort of life or death interview. You constantly think, what words do I use? How do I look at the cashier without making it weird? When do I have my card ready? Am I standing too close to the person behind me? It usually starts with a small insecure thought that leads to another thought and another, then another, like falling dominoes that get bigger with every fall. And then you hear, "May I take your order, please?" Then you end up buying something you don't want to eat because you messed up what you were trying to say. And you eat it anyway because you overthink about how dumb you'd look if you order something else. Now you're overthinking the situation. Now you're mad at yourself for overthinking in the first place. And you wanted to commit soooooooo. It's alright to overthink things sometimes. Problem is, we direct our thoughts into the wrong direction rather than in a productive manner. Too much of it though, like my friend says, can lead to stuff like anxiety, lack of sleep, not getting shit done, or worse, fucking things up, etc. Making something a bigger deal than it actually is, or making up end of the world scenarios that doesn't really make sense. Sound familiar? So, you'd think that when a person looks at you funny or says something in a weird tone or looks even slightly annoyed, you'd think, oh fuck, what did I do? In some cases, yeah, you done fucked up. You goof. It's okay to be a goof sometimes. But in most cases, they probably just stubbed their toe, not had their coffee, or had something else go down that had nothing to do with you. And maybe you should stop considering that whatever issue they got going on probably don't have anything to do with you. And even if it did, analyze your actions logically, and I mean logically, to what you did wrong, how can you do better, and try to move forward in a positive self-improvement mindset, if that makes sense. I don't know. Sometimes they might have just said it in a weird way without meaning to. For all you know, they might have just been overthinking how to talk to you and fucked it up without even realizing. And even if you did all you can and something's still up, it's probably not your problem anyways. So with that in mind, does any of it matter? When your mind just constantly making up worst case scenarios, there's just no winning. You'd think the only way to win is to not play, but actually In most cases, it can't be avoided. But actually, if you hone your actions to base it on those negative thoughts, you're letting it win by giving it control. Guess the best approach is to accept those possibilities, be it happens or not, and just not care what the outcome could be from it. You can even count till the time passes until the negative mindset goes away. That even make any sense? I don't know. Thing is, many of these thoughts that upset us are products of our imagination, not reality. We make actions that make them real, which is the only thing we can control. Those thoughts are literally nothing. Let's not trigger a self-fulfilling prophecy by letting these thoughts take over. Think of the sudden rush of thoughts as simple clouds, which will float away eventually as circumstances change, because nothing really stays the same, does it? These clouds will drift away. They'll probably come back, but they'll go away just as quick, like they always do. Guess what I'm trying to say is, add to your overthinking. Okay, hear me out. If you're gonna overthink the worst, why not add the best possibilities or best case scenarios while you're at it? Like, might as well, why not? Like, yeah, bad things could happen, but, big fat but, what if it didn't? What if something unexpectedly good happens? Allow yourself to prepare for those good what ifs as well. There's nothing wrong with that. Focus on that if you can, actually. Rewire your overthinking right now to incorporate positive outcomes. Think positive. Go figure. To elaborate on this, a wise woman once said, "The greatest films of all time were never made," meaning the best scenarios will never happen. I thought about this and realized it works both ways. The worst scenarios will also never happen the way that the best scenarios will never happen. Because what I'm trying to say is, the worst thing ever will never be a thing. Bad stuff happens, but it's not the worst thing that could happen. The Holocaust was a terrible event. Oh, what is this example? It should never have happened. It was beyond anyone's control. Well, it was beyond most people's control. But this isn't a history lesson. And by that, I mean, it could have gone worse. I guess what I'm trying to say is, even the end of the world isn't the worst case scenario. It's in the grand scale of things. It's really bad, but is it the worst? Okay, that might be a terrible example. Okay, let's try another example. Stubbing your toe might not feel like the worst thing ever, but it won't last forever. Did I just seriously compare the two scenarios? I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, am I? Anyway, there are infinite ways things could turn out, but which route you happen to take will never be the best or the worst case scenario. Yeah, I should have started off with that. Though there's a spectrum depending on the scenario, but you don't need to focus on which route to take or should take or could have taken or should have taken. Do what you can within your control. No matter what may happen, it will count as you tried. And if you fuck up, you fuck up. If you done good, you done good. The clouds will part and new clouds are on their way. You don't have to think about it, cause it's gonna happen, like or not. Okay, I guess what I'm trying to say is, you don't need to be scared. For all you know, it could be something good on the way. But hey, what do I know at this point? Things could have gotten better, yes. But they could have also gotten way worse. And so I guess if you're gonna overthink, might as well add to your overthinking. Just remember that at the end of your overthinking, ask yourself, does any of this make sense? Try to think rationally. It's what I'm trying to get at with this video, I suppose. I'm too tired. So I guess in conclusion, your mind can make anything up. It's constantly coming up with infinite possibilities of millions of ways things could go wrong. But just like your expectation, it's unlikely that reality will match those expectations. I learned that the hard way. When you're a kid, you'd think the worst thing to happen is meeting a soul-sucking demon with sharp teeth and a bag that will drag you to hell if you misbehave. But when you're an adult, reality is way worse. And you just have to deal with it, and you will deal with it. Everybody deals with it. It's okay. I think one of the reasons we turn to the worst case scenario is because at the back of our minds, we think if we consider the best case scenario or have the audacity to think positively, we'll be let down if it doesn't come true. And our egos can't handle being let down like that. And we'd rather expect the worst than be disappointed if the best doesn't come true. But dear, you have the right to expect the worst to not happen to you. Let me say that again for the people at the back. You deserve to not expect the worst to happen. Not everything happens for a reason. In fact, a lot of things happen for no reason. Our bare existence happens for no reason. Probably. And it's all out of your control. So whatever bad thing you're thinking about, you probably don't deserve. I'm assuming. I mean, I don't know you, but I hope you don't deserve it, you know? Just take it easy on yourself, boo. Moral of the story, whatever you're overthinking about probably will never happen, because real life is far more unpredictable, and whatever happens, you can probably handle better than you give yourself credit for. And sometimes it might not even happen at all. Sometimes even something good might actually happen. Or maybe you go through it and realize it wasn't as bad as you thought. So find your chill. But it's okay if you still do overthink every little thing. Like, I talk a lot of shit about finding your chill. For someone that overthinks on a daily basis, like some sort of religious ritual. But sometimes having an idea of alternative ways to think is a good place to start. And if it helps anyone, even one person, that's good enough for me. I'm not sure if any of this video made any sense. To be honest, I don't really know what I'm talking about. I'm just like talking out of my ass, you know, like overthinking. Yeah, if it makes sense to you, then it makes sense to you. I'm still trying to make sense of it myself. How many times have I repeated myself in this video? I made no sense at all, did I? I lost the plot ages ago. But anyway, if you enjoyed me trying to rationalize to myself and find it funny, because I sure found it quite funny. And you enjoy more of my whispers of sweet nothings, then feel free to like and subscribe. I mean, what's the worst that could happen, right? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the speed paint. Hope to see you soon, and I will hopefully see you later. See ya.